Matt, the players have had the first opportunity to train on the pitch before the season starts. What have you made of Chaz and his team's work over the summer?
Fantastic as always. He's a superstar, isn't he, at the moment, Chaz? The pitch is still, 2.5 weeks away from the first home game against Port Vale. I'm sure it'll thicken up and be a little bit shorter when we come to that date. It's in fantastic position. It's not only Chaz, but everyone involved in that ground staff team and the investment the club have made in the pitch. 2 years on the run now. We know it's been a long time coming, but finally we've got a pitch and a stadium we can be proud of.
Obviously, you mentioned the pitch several times last season and how instrumental that was to our good form, and that's obviously something we hope we can rely on next season as well. Yeah,
people were sick of me talking about the pitch in previous years, and even Tiz before that, but we were under the understanding that we thought it would help our team. If we've got footballers from our academy of a certain physical profile playing on a sinking bog is probably the best way to describe it. That's going to help them play football, and it was difficult to watch at times. So hopefully last season showed what we can do on a better surface. We've always felt we've produced better footballing performances away from home, but we are also mindful that our home form has been strong for a number of seasons. That's by no means down to anyone else but the fans and the atmosphere created by them.
Obviously, I mentioned the players were training on it today, preparing for Saturday's game at Torquay. Is that almost a game that you'd like to treat as if it was the first day of the season?
Not really. Tuesday we treated as a pretty serious game, going to Bristol City in that heat, in those conditions, playing against a good team. This Saturday will be about getting some more minutes into the ones who haven't had that full 90 as yet. So hopefully Jonathan Grounds will feature, Sam Stubbs, Matt Jay, who didn't play on Tuesday, will get some minutes. There's still one or two within the group who we're not looking after, but have got slight strains and tightness in the body. So Josh Key probably won't feature, Harry Kite probably won't feature. Obviously Kyle Taylor's a long-term absentee. But in terms of what I saw on Tuesday, the majority of the group are where they need to be, almost 10 days before the start of the season. So we'll try and get the rest of that playing group up to speed, and we'll use Saturday for that.
You mentioned about managing, looking after certain players there. I think we saw today in the training was separate groups, of ones that played on Tuesday and the ones that didn't.
Yeah, well, there's one fresh group and one semi-fresh group. The semi-fresh group played on an awfully hot day. You guys were there on Tuesday, and that was a good game of football, and that was the first time they'd really pushed themselves in terms of the match minutes. So they were probably in the risk zone, as they call it, the red zone, the S&C coaches call it. So we looked after them, but they still did a little bit of work, got some patterns of play in terms of team shape and some set piece work, and then the other ones really went to work. Only sort of 45 minutes to an hour's work, but went after it, and that's the main group who will get the main minutes on this weekend.
Obviously we're a week and a half away from the season starting. Do you expect any transfer movements in that time?
I hope we'll get some in. I expect. We'll keep on trying. We've been trying for the last 6 to 8 weeks, and we've not been successful as yet. There's nothing we can do about other than putting our best offer in front of players and in front of clubs in terms of loan players as well. So I think a lot more players and a lot of clubs as well to boot are understanding that the season starts a week on Saturday, and players need to play football. So hopefully more players will come available. We're strong in our mindset of what we want profile-wise and personnel-wise. So far we've not been able to achieve it, but we're all getting closer and closer to that first league game, and obviously we need certain positions in straight away.
I think it's worth mentioning that we have been close to targets, and we've been frustrated in certain aspects, which I imagine is.
We can only do so much. We can only offer what we can offer. We can't, generate any more money from anywhere else. We've just not got it, and not only the financial aspect, but the opportunity as well. Location-wise in the country, we're a certain place, and obviously financially as well. So that probably puts us at the bottom of the food chain on the pecking order, so to speak. But we're confident to bring some players in.
And I think you've said previously there's plenty of players out there we could get, but they've got to be the right fit, and they've got to be better than what we've got.
They've got to improve the squad. We can't have squad fillers. We've got an under-18s and a 23s group who can do that, and with no disrespect to what else is out there, then we can't just bring players in for the sake of it, because we've got a lot of pathways we've got to keep open. So as always, management's a challenge, and certainly this time around has been a different type of challenge. Even on the back of the promotion, we're still not as attractive as what we'd have hoped in terms of bringing players to this football club, but that's what we are as a model. I've got no qualms in relation to that. My job as manager is to put a competitive team on that football pitch, and I'm sure we'll do that.
You mentioned some of the 18s there. You've had a few of them training with us throughout pre-season. You must be really impressed with the progress some of those players have made. Yeah,
look, some of them have really impressed. First and foremost, they see him in a better place than the previous groups in terms of their personality and character. Physicality, they're still a little bit off where they need to get to, but I'm sure they'll do that in a natural progression. And some of the games have got certain aspects which we really like. Some of you guys will have seen it in terms of the fixtures they've played in, and the game time they've had, and a fantastic experience of training with ourselves. Now is a chance for them to go back to the 18s or go out on loan themselves and continue their development. But what a fantastic 4 or 5 weeks they've had with ourselves.
Next Tuesday, fans forum here at the park. There's plenty of questions from the fans, I'm sure, and Archie and Sam will be there. It'll be a good opportunity just before the season starts for the fans to say what they think.
Yeah, interesting to hear from Archie and Sam, two of the quieter ones off the pitch in relation to the group. So hopefully they got something interesting to say. Hopefully the fans ask honest questions, and they'll certainly get honest answers from myself.
And finally, you want me to mention at the staff social tomorrow. How's your pool skills?
Pool's not my game really. I'm looking forward to this new bar with axe throwing. A few misdirected axes. You never know where they might end up.